Oh my god, this is Dirt Kid? He looks like him! He looks like me too! This is so cool! Yeah, that sure is all genetics rock or something. No, I've seen both of them. Oh my god, this is so great! I can't wait to meet Rose when she's not dying. Or in the middle of any other scenario contrived by the cruel and unfeeling universe trying to rob me of my mom times. Nice to meet you too, Octomom slash niece, I guess. You should probably hold off on the excitement until you meet the real Dave, though. Wait, there's another one? Man, why is there always ridiculous members of Striders running around at any given moment? I love it. We should have a family reunion with name tags. But what do you mean you're not real? Is a in disguise? I mean, another day from this timeline. Trust me, you'll be able to tell. Not being from this timeline makes you not real? Hmm, what does that mean for me? Don't worry, your situation is very totally different. How? Uh, well, you made a deal with Nick so that this version of you could stay, so really the other version is a not real one. I'm not sure I like thinking about any version of me in that way. I mean, it's pretty great to me. It's also game works, no big. Sounds up. The more family members, the better as far as I'm concerned. Roxy, we came here so you could keep an eye on Jade for a while. Jake's scary werewolf grandma. What do I do if she wakes up? I like my organs where they are. I hit her pretty hard. Hopefully she stay out for a while. At least the witch won't find her as long as she's with me. Thank you, Void Magics. By the way, speaking of cool void stunts, that's something I might be able to do. Like what? I'm supposed to be able to make stuff exist by taking the nothing away from it. Which sounds like a super lame power, but works if you want to make a shit ton of green cubes for some reason. I haven't tried it on much that's more important, but I thought maybe I could steal the not remembering from people, so that maybe they'll know what happened like we do. That would save us a lot of time and explaining. That would make things easier, but I'm not sure it's a good idea. Why not? Everything that happened in that timeline was pretty terrible. Do you think they would want to remember? We did, sure, but we didn't die, and I'm hoping that being in this new timeline will help me forget all of the awful things that happened in the old one, since they never actually happened. I will have other things to think about, so I won't think about that. I see. You don't want them to remember because it might make them sad or hurt them, but I'm thinking that it might hurt them. By remembering, maybe they won't make the same mistakes that they made the first time, and no one would get hurt at all. Plus, we won't be the only ones to remember, so it will be a lot less lonely. Sometimes remembering bad things can be good, like when you mess up in a video game level and replay it and do it exactly right. If I forgot what I did wrong every time, I would be stuck in level 1 forever, so I would never get anywhere. That makes sense, I guess. That's right, what do you think? I told you, this kind of time travel is very different from anything I've expertise on. Yeah, but you just said you wanted me to check everything with you. I did say that, didn't I? The way we do it, only one person remembers, the Templiar, and then they pass the knowledge along and die usually. You have to hope everyone listening hard enough to not fuck up in the same way that doomed them last time. Instead, they fuck up in a new and even more bizarre way. Never did seem fair. They were the only ones that have to remember what went wrong. Maybe Skaya thought no one else could take it, and we could only deal because it would be for too long. But if they could take it, it would save us a lot of trouble. People might even learn something. It helped Rose out, even if it did mess up too. And that meant the version of her didn't really die. So I say full steam ahead. Everyone fucked up. Let them own it for once. If you say so, then we'll not disagree. Roxy, how will this work? Like I know how my powers work. I steal the forgetting in some metaphysical rogue way and the remembering pops through. I hope. I'm not exactly sure where all the stolen forgetting will go, maybe nowhere? Probably nowhere important. Don't look at me, I'm not a gun guide. No, poor precious sweet dear Fefeta. You left this world too soon. I usually have to think about whatever I want to make, but it's sometimes hard to think about memories that way. I guess we just remember what I can and hope that's enough. Okay, anti-forgetting magic is a go. Shabam! Did it work? I think so. I remember getting hit by a planet. Lucky bastard. Hang on, I'm making a message. We need to talk. Is anyone here? I'm still not entirely familiar with this format. I can't believe we're doing this Mimo bullshit again. Does anyone remember or go to full a locomotive build-up this lifetime was? I don't know. I think it's nostalgic. Don't worry, it shouldn't be too painful. In the stress of making shit take place, I will cut down on the rhetorical flourishes. Oh damn, that's when you know it's serious. Does everyone have their copy of the death maps and keys? It's a good thing you held on to them. You never know when you might need to overthrow someone. A settlement I fully endorse. Remember though, it is only an illustration mission. Don't tangle with the Empress or any other agents. We'll deal with them later. Yeah, Dirk, would be extra pissed if I didn't get a chance to kick fish Hitler's Bedell's butt. Where is he? Still a few hours out of range, and probably hella mad that he doesn't get to invade with you guys. I'm sure by the end of the day there will be carnage enough for all. Are you still have Lopan? Yep, dog sitting. She hasn't even moved. John really won't her. The possibility to avoid player might be helping, what with the inherent inscrutability and all. Uh, I never thought of that. You're so wise like a venerable wizard. Except instead of old dude with a bird and you're a young and sexy babe, which is really the best of both worlds to be honest. I don't know. Sometimes I feel like my life is lacking without a majestic and wizardly cascade of facial hair. Perhaps I should try to cultivate one. Lalonde, please stop dominating this conversation. You can have your sickening between you in the flesh later. Right now, we are clogging the chat with the stink of your cavity-inducing banter. That's not fair. Why does Rose get to have a family reunion while my Nana's still evil and Dasbro is still in outer space? No, Big. He can't take his time. We want him to explain everything. If all goes as planned, you will have Jen back in good condition soon. No, let's review. This sprite will stand by until someone calls him for this part of the plan. My part sucks. Kakat and Kanaya will draw the Empress away by contacting her and informing her that they captured a missing servant. Dave and Terezi will retrieve Jack from their dungeons. John and I will locate and subdue Jane. Once we find her, we'll attempt to deactivate the device controlling your mind. Once the objective is accomplished, get away from there before the Empress returns. We'll plan our next move then. Good luck. Remember, we've been giving a second chance. Don't blow it. You open your eyes to a headache and a strange feeling that you've done this all before. Kelly, I think I'm starting to remember some things. Really? That's wonderful. No, it's really not. In fact, I think it's kind of terrible. Huh? I was right. I did hurt people. That fourth Empress was already in a session with Strife. I thought I had everything under control, but before I knew it, she taken control of me instead. Jen and I both ended up being bad guys, and it's my fault the Empress got her too. None of it is your fault. Trust me, I have plenty of experience in having your body used for awful things, and then waking up to see all the mess you have made. It really is frustrating, but you shouldn't fret over actions you have no control over. Well, the thing is that part of me wanted to do these things. It was bad, but part of me wanted to eat John. He was such a jerk sometimes during our trip. I tried to be supportive and nice, but he kept complaining. And Jacket was mean to me for years, and Dave, oh my god, he kept going on and on about his problems. All I wanted was for him to take the stupid sword and stop being a used baby. They all made me so angry. I tried not to let them see it before, but then it all came out. I don't know how I'd ever be able to face them again. Blimey, Jade, I never would have guessed. I would hate to think that any of my friends would get leave for proud of me. We need to keep all that quiet for so long. Are friends supposed to share their feelings? Anger isn't a useful feeling to share, though. It doesn't help get anything done. It only makes people not like you. And I know everyone has problems and reasons why they act the way they do. Like, Dave has actual problems, I guess. Even if sometimes it seems like he never stops talking about them. And John and Carcat had reasons for the way they act too. Even if I don't know if those reasons were always good excuses. So I shouldn't get angry about that. That's not being a very good friend. Being angry might have been an advantage for me. My kind is meant to feel fury in the face of injustice. If I hadn't mistook by the courage to get properly combative, maybe I would have defeated my brother instead of the other way around. You have a brother too? Not in the way you understand the term, but yes. I suspect even you have trouble keeping your temper if you made him. It's extremely unpleasant. In fact, it's the reason I'm here. Huh? Your own brother killed you? It may strange to you, but this is how my species functions. Our kind is caught in a constant struggle of attraction until one sibling gives up the ghost. I'd hoped to find another way, but I realized no, that was deluding myself. One of us was always going to win out of the end, and be unsure that it would be him. And here I am, a ghost in actuality as well as metaphor. For a while longer, anyway. Whoa, certainly my own problems don't seem so bad. My friends and family would never hurt me, except, I guess maybe they did. I still don't remember exactly how I died. Maybe that's a good thing. I want to remember one of my friends killing me, even if I am better off gone. I know the feeling. It would have been better for the universe if I had never been born. Unfortunately, having my brother's mastery of time ensured that he would always predominate. Any other outcome would be relegated to the forest, the reaches of parallel space to decay in doom and timeline. Hmm. What? Some part of the story is so very familiar. I think I might know where I remember you from, but those memories are from a part of my life I'm not proud of. Another one? I guess I have a lot of those. After my dream self died, she met a lot of people in the bubbles. I think one of these people might have been you, or another version of you anyway, but I'm not sure that I want to remember. Why not? When I brought my dream self back, I hated her. She was so weak and pathetic. She only cared about herself, not about what other people needed. She didn't even care about that there was work to be done. She just sat there and cried until I got tired, and she became a part of me again. But I'm sure that she was only a very small part. I'm afraid remembering will make her a bigger part of me, and I don't want to be like that. Yeah, that's exactly. Sad and already and selfish. I'm already a liability, I don't need to be more of one. So you hurt people because you were hungry and did not want them to know, and now you can't remember because you don't want to feel sad? I'm sorry, Jade, but that doesn't make very much sense for me. It sounds silly, but when I grew up, I was all alone. I couldn't stop to be sad or upset. It didn't matter if things were unfair because no one was going to help me. Things had to be get done if I was going to survive, and I had to be the one to do them. So I did. And feeling bad about it never made anything better. Mm, I grew up alone too. Well, sort of. Suffice to say, my interactions with others were limited. And one companionship I did have was indirect and anticipatory. Our situations are not identical by any means, but I will say this. I kept secrets from my friends because I had to, and because speaking in puzzles and riddles is in my nature, but I do not relate it. I always felt that it stood in the way of us truly being able to trust each other. And now that I'm dead and beyond my brother's reach, for now at least, I find a certain satisfaction in sharing the details of my story. I feel like it helps me make more better and make more and better friends, like you. So perhaps keeping secrets was necessary once for you, I don't know. Especially if it was important, but that's why you grew up alone. But I also think it is important for you to know that you're not alone now. Okay, I will try to remember. The other person I met was like you, but not quite. She was a god tier and closed off somehow. I think she wanted to be kind, but she didn't know how. Instead, she seemed very, very lonely, like she'd been in an empty bubble for centuries. I felt really bad for her, but she said she was waiting for someone. Who? She didn't say, but I think she was waiting for you. Huh? What the shell do we got here? The rainbow drinker and this nastiest mutant blood kid. I resent that statement, but I'm going to let it slide. To borrow your inane scheme of punish for a moment, we have one important fish to fry here. Sounds delicious, but I also got some serious shit going down. Serious shit that you're in the process of throwing a decent-sized sea monkey wench into again. I'm delighted that you diced. Despite your roasting efforts to corral us into your greatest ills of case slavery resentment, we have stumbled into some advantageous foreknowledge knowledge, allowing us to track your ships. The shell you're talking about, do you like I'm done talking? This windfall. And yes, our own personal hero of wind was involved, but this and all. It allowed us to capture a key pawn in your game. We have the witch in our possession, hot cold, cuddled up in some disturbingly cute doll pile that cuddles her harmless, squishy human body, unable to do jack and shit to carry out your plans for a second run on universal domination. What? You've got to be kidding me. You seriously think I believe you caught her? Really? Well, I'm assuming that's the reason I'm currently standing here contemplating shitty fish pens and not writhing all over the ground with my vital organs, throwing a party to which I was not invited. Oh, but I welcome you to make that a thing. Wait, you can't, because Jade's 3 wolf beats deep in Snoozland. Or we not, you will pay useless. We're in fact willing to barter for release. You shilling me that you seriously ask a guest to come up to me, and say all that? Boy, I'm gonna turn you into chum. You'll be asking for it really hard with all this disrespect you're giving me. You know I still got one drill up and about, right? I say we make the chum party happen. Not very advisable from a strategic standpoint. You make a mistake when you allow the LV to make Avelinus monologues, which, to be honest, until she broke out the oversized crottery, were about as intimidating as the London liter or two of human soporifics. Actually, I might text Avelinus starting over another lecture of the fairies of a theoretical accusation. You better give us the antagonist for 1-1. Never give away your plan. And it is thanks to this oversight in strategy and common fucking sense that I am not currently shitting these high-waisted pants of my sheer, undignified terror. You see, a little psycho dog girl told us that you need us to bargain with Echidna. No, you could threaten us with death and revival by conquer once more, except, oh wait, you can't. Every Jade also babbled on how Jade's power worked. I never thought I would say this, but thanks to WC aligned Eldritch gods, I've gotten fucked already once today, because as much as I love voicing about around in my own body fluids, that bargaining ship has been chucked unceremoniously out the window, following the same elegant trajectory as Crocker's weapon slicing through my torso column. Can I ask you as well? James powers don't even work on her. Well, actually, I mean, yes, that's a biological fact. I'm very certain of that, certainly. God, enough dealing with meddling trolls today. At least the last one had a decent color on her. And that last mental blow I dealt with managed to get the world reprising against me. What you got? Two troll girls and a merry band of humans in stupid outfits? But no, you know nothing about what I seen. Who said I needed all that bullshit anyway? Begin your fucking pattern? I don't need to be my ancestor. I met the guy, and it's an absolute fucking tool who keeps running his mouth. Drawing or unfortunate enough to be near in an unending red tide of self-fight to scrap. Way more dignified and brevity if you ask me. I also met you altered herself, and you know what? She was alright. She was a kind of kick in your teeth for session needed. That's your style. You get shit done. A jab in the soft, cushioned portions of the posterior parts to get everyone shit together. But that isn't everything you've done needs to be. That attitude fucked up me last session and made Altana unhandleable. Sometimes. It wasn't all bad. It was efficient. But Jesus, fuck. Was all that killing really necessary? Most of the fauna planet side was already trying to kill us, and here we go throwing ourselves into the heap like the universe's most murder-happy dogpile. And the sufferer? I guess he has the right idea, but if he has anything like concrete, he was already a dick too. His planet was incapable of growing anything but the most weapon and damaged individuals. And I know what I'm talking about from personal experience. But let me tell you, after trying to one girl what was left of the species into line, which was about as easy as adding a gang of regulators into a grubjan, I can formally testify what the color of our blood means jack shit. It's the running current flowing in our veins that keeps us alive, and if you lose too much of it, you die. I've seen high bloods die and low bloods die, and our entire planet get wiped out by a firestorm of sky-directed and monster-scorching death. And in the end, that's what the color of our fucking blood means. But you sick in a thick pen. In case you are not noticed, we divided pertinently by blood. Yeah, fancy ass psychic abilities and all that past bullshit, I get it. Biology got overexcited with the color coding and here we are. But Mina didn't judge on that. She offered me a place in her army when she knew I was a filthy mutant who'd failed as a leader in my own session. I'm one of the only one left. Our high bloods all flipped their pens and killed each other off. Now it was me and two high bloods and two mid bloods. I rattle soldiers whenever they are floating out in the shooting and base of a friendly neighborhood eldritch monstrosities. And Dempsey, But even if he won out the highboard free for all, he's not entranced in the pan flipping territory that his Ive is now considered borough of Hawking madness. So who gives a shit about games right now? Not me. Mina looked at me and saw somebody was trying to shove a boot up everyone's sweatshirts so that maybe we all didn't die a horrible death. In some cases, again, when she asked me to help lead her ghost army, it didn't matter what color I had in my veins. If she can do that, maybe you can listen to the nasty ass metal bird for 2 fucking minutes. So that maybe we won't stab our own species into mutually assured extinction. What happened to your eye? Damn, thought I covered that up. I can't see it, but your face smells like a juicy rippling phlegm. Glad to know my pen is delicious. The knowledge that I'm a delight to your olfactory senses make it all worth it. So what happened? I don't want to talk about it. Of course you don't. What that's supposed to mean. You never want to talk about anything important. Or if you do, you bury it under a lot of silly nonsense to try to distract people who aren't looking closely enough. Since when? Since always. It was always hard to have a serious conversation with you because you didn't want to bring up real issues. Don't you remember all the time we spent on in Canton not talking about things? The mayor was probably the most open about his feelings and doesn't speak. Okay, fine, whatever. Why are you bringing this up now? Is this some sort of eternal personal failing? Why are we talking about it 3 days, 2 years later, on the way to John's Gunmass torture dungeon? I appreciate the distraction because damn, the whole situation is making me mad and uncomfortable thinking about it. Why does she even have one of those? It seems like a good time. Just giving us all a fresh start. We don't want to stumble back into our previous blunders. Being honest seems like a good way to avoid more trouble. Also, I'm very curious about the black eye. As far as I know, we have not engaged with any adversaries since we said. Are there any dangerous fast smashers on the board? No. It's not a big deal. It will not kill you to explain. Don't know what your fixation is on hearing girls the sordid days of my life. Do you get your kick as some kind of teen drama voyeur? Actually, you probably do it right up there with urging murders. But my private thoughts aren't nearly as exciting as the crime scene, so it's not like you are missing out. You weren't being noble by sparing us your thoughts. You were hiding. I understood staying focused during your session. There's a lot of pressure and couldn't afford to fuse up again. But afterwards, you said you didn't want to talk about things. And I never pushed you because I had my own topics I wanted to avoid. And eventually, that turned into not talking at all. Are you blaming all that on me? That's not fair. I'm pretty sure I remember you sneaking around being shifty and suspicious. No, it's not fair. I did my own share of hiding too. We are both no guilty parties here. Besides, can I even keep secrets from Monsieur? Can't you read my mind and find all the answers you want? As I have said many times before, my powers are not mind reading. Although it is true that your mind is easy to decipher, all the things you think you are doing to be secretive only makes the truth more obvious. Your brain is like a squishy grey book I keep on myself that I can open anytime I want. You see, a few descriptions on my insides are in the top 5 of things I missed about hanging out with you. You made a list? Prosecution requested as an evidence. It's a mental list. Which shouldn't be a problem since my brain is hanging out with a number case. Why am I often able to find meaning in your inane babbling? Sometimes it's refreshing to get straight answers. Neither of us volunteered to, so no, I'm asking you instead of picking apart your words and drawing conclusions to show how clever I am. I would like to return the favor. It has to be trusted sometimes. Trust. That's something we've got a lot of. Fine. I got in a fight with myself. Really? Hey, sorry, that's just like a good thing to do. Remember when he used to have screaming arguments with his past and future selves? The Igor session where she did memos for hours. Those were all ridiculously arbitrary temporal distinctions, though, like himself from 20 minutes to the future on an hour in the past. They've got all the conversations and sophistications of bashing your head into the mirror, or bashing yourself in the face. I acknowledge that doesn't sound any different, but totally is. There were legitimate grievances being aired, okay? How about you tell me what happened? Then I can be the judge of that. Remember you're part of the plan. Don't get me started. I swear it's some kind of sick joke. Nah, the CS knows what it's doing actually. Okay, so spends the last 2 years having no fucking clue, but when it's go time, I trust them. I don't get what you're not using time powers. That will make this a lot easier. Don't want John stealing your thunder. He can have it. Use the way he goes storms and a hammer. He might as well go full door. Did I say something about Jugalo Loki earlier? So no reference I make is wasted. It always ends up being relevant later in some bizarre and unabashed way. It's been 3 years and neither of us was bleated like a goat for ironic purposes yet, but our time will come. Setting aside comparing us to Marvel characters, which is like the kind of conversation that could spiral out of control way too fast. If John wants to time travel, it can be his headache. I'll send them a gift pack of Advil and a note saying, good job being a better hero than me as per fucking usual. Like hell, I mean these time travelers being fucking everything up left and right and giving the fatal line at least 10 new assholes a minute, but hey, his issue now. He's banning us out at least once, which is more than I've done lately, and anyway, I've gave all that up a while ago. You, what? I give it up, see? Time travel is like karate. Don't start with the bullshit similes, we both know that's a diversionary tactic. Fine, I quit because I felt like it. Happy? What? No, you can't do that. Watch me. It's your job. I did not apply. So what if Kaya got his peep on and say, hey, that guy sure looks like he could use a mortal one or two. I don't play that game anymore. I'm sick of dying and watching myself die and wondering what I'm going to be doing next. I'm sick of knowing that we're all aimed to the Alpha Timeline because Loop 7 is after terribles, with everyone running on me to save them from some kind of disaster, where sometimes the disaster is built into what has to happen. And you have to sit back and watch everything go to hell because all you can do is make it worse. Inevitably the bitch. Good on John for fucking it up. He's doing more than ever could. I can't believe this. Showing off the shittiest of all shitty years, I can relate. I don't know how much rewind would time I racked up before I came back to save John, so we asked, and not to see the exact same shit you saw. But I did my job. And look how you turned out. How's that going for you? Us going for me doesn't matter. The important part is I fixed that was broken so you could get on with it. Because at what time he was, remember? Our friends need our help. And if you sit around with doing nothing, it won't help anyone. I'm not doing nothing. Does it really have to be that big a deal whether in time traveling or not? When getting shit done without me having to die every 5 seconds, which as far as I'm concerned is like a pretty good plan. So dying doesn't matter. If you die, you die. That's the risk you have to take, and at the end of the day, you're still you. You won't lose anything important. Okay, sure, I'm still me, but then who the hell are you? That doesn't matter either. What do you mean by it not mattering? You're in me, I'm you, blah blah blah. I mean, Jesus, did that really sound like that? Just sound like that? Mm-hmm. Whatever. Okay, so the point is I'm not time traveling anymore. Because the end. Close the door, go home, turn on the lights, we're done here. Then what the fuck is the point? What are we even here for if you won't do what you're supposed to do? Are you gonna go bullshit on me if I say it doesn't matter? Or shut up? No, you know what? You shut up. All the nihilistic self-loving bullshit you've been springing on me since we met back, it's just no fucking wonder. No wonder what? Oh, come on, don't pretend you don't know what I'm talking about. I know you've spent the last 3 days trying to win things with Jane and John. It's obvious to insult me for being so good Dave, and it's given you some kind of wild hang up about not being good enough to want to still be friends with them. And if I get myself killed, it should I want that twinkle right out of the fabric of time, won't it? Are you crazy? Can you hear the words coming out of your mouth right now? Did John retcon us into some bizarre alternate reality where you were dropped on your head even Mars baby? Why would you ever think that? Because that's what being me is, remember? You were just on my case about time travel. That's what time travel does. I only exist because I got lucky and a bunch of other Daves didn't. They flipped the coin and I came down heads. So I got to keep going and they died to make it easier. Everything I'm is taking what someone else made and kicking him to the fucking curb. But you're the exception. Because you wound up sticking around 10 times longer than any of them. Outliving whatever purpose this game set up for you that you embraced as Kaya was offering you the prowess of bro hugs and never let go even when the two of you wound up pasted together with my sweat. So you're trying to push it on me and no, thanks bro, but no. I'm not trying to. That's not what I'm fucking doing at all. I was trying to make them hate me, making sure they will go back to you. I was doing the equivalent of keeping your seat warm for your ungrateful ass. It's not like they ever really wanted me. I was not supposed to be here. I bet that falters you, doesn't it? Being so purposeless. I mean, what we were doing was west of us got sorted. If you hadn't been so busy wallowing in your own misery, maybe fewer people would have died. Oh, sure, because I would have made a difference. Anyway, what did you do? What was your big contribution? I went to get Jade's bag with the bag from the dogs. You fucking moron! You know they wouldn't have hurt her. Or were you so scrap up at being human that you forgot? At least I tried. People needed my help and I stayed. Not because I needed you. Instead, you fucked off when you could act of some bullshit fantasy of what real heroes are supposed to do, even though we both know we are never out cut out for any of that. You we weren't there. You don't know what it's like getting to Lofaf and see one of your friends all smashed up and being manhandled by a mass murderer and everything on fire and breaking apart and you don't know how many people are dead or about to die. So yeah, when someone told me something I could go if I did, I would. It's so I bought something. Maybe it wasn't the most basically logical sleep I ever made, like a perfect swan dive into the waters of absolute clarity and common sense. But I wasn't freaking safe. You panicked and did what you had to. Let me guess. You did instant travel. It hit my mind. What if you had time to think? What if you was the last one left instead of John? What you have done then? I don't know. Would you have let them rot? Sit around having some big damn existential crisis about should I or should I then was I already gone? Is that what you was going to do? God. I can't believe I thought you would be any better than what I turned into. I spent all this time thinking the real Dave wouldn't have gone to shit like I did, and look at you. You're not a hero, you're a joke. I said I don't know. I think I would. I want to think I would, but I can't know unless I'm in the situation. Just like you can't understand what was going through my head this went there with me. Talk about shit that doesn't matter. That's only political. It already happened. Call the guy from Aliens because Game Over Man, done deal. So then you get it. That doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Oh, for fuck's sake, shut up. I get it. Nothing matters. I don't matter. You don't matter. Nothing matters. But you still keep shoving my whole purpose bullshit down my throat. Which is it, I bet you don't even know. You're still just too desperate to give him back the world so you can go off yourself. So there's nothing left for else for you to do now, right? You did jack shit when all that happened. So it's like you fucked up any kind of friendship you could have possibly had with John Dale. But yeah, okay, come back and tell me to get back to the race. Come back and tell me and tell the real Dave, the alpha Dave, the one who matters, to get his ass in gear, like running a relay or something. And you're passing John and Jade and everything else off to me like a fucking baton you've been carrying for the last 3 years. And now you're going to go sit on the bleachers and up get right on yourself like when I bust my ass. Like, hey, these aren't people, this isn't life. It's just one more golden burden you don't want to deal with anymore. Let me clean up all the messes you made with everyone and well forget we're even here like you seem to want. Toss you out with some garage style romance drag or some shitty knockoff bargain bin Dave thought was for shit. Ugh! Deserved, so even deserved. Oh my god.